திருச்சி. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். ஆடும் பரிவேல் அணி சேவல் என பாடும் பணியே பணியாய் அருள்வாய், தேடும் கயமா முகனை செருவில் சாடும் தனி யானை சகோதரனே. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். உலகலாம் உணர்ந்து ஓதற்கரியவன், நிலவுலாவிய நீர்மலி வேணியன், அலகில் சோதியன் அம்பலத்தாடுவான், மலர் சிலம்படி வாழ்த்தி வணங்குவான். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். நேசம் நிறைந்த உள்ளத்தால் நிலம் நிறைந்த மணிகண்டத்து ஈசனடியார் பெருமையினை எல்லா உயிரும் தொழையெடுத்து தேசம் உய்ய திருத்தொண்ட தொகை முன் பணித்த திருவாளர் வாசமலர் மென்கடல் வணங்க வந்த பிறப்பை வணங்குவோம். திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனையே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, ஏகம்பத்துரை எந்தாய் போற்றி, பாகம் பெண்ணுரு ஆனாய் போற்றி, பராய்த்துறை மேவிய பரனே போற்றி, சிராப்பள்ளி மேவிய சிவனே போற்றி, அண்ணாமலையமன்னா போற்றி, கண்ணாரமுத கடலே போற்றி, காவாய் கனகத்திரளே போற்றி, கைலை மலையானே போற்றி போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். அண்ட சராசரங்களுக்கெல்லாம் அதிபதியாக விளங்கக்கூடிய முருகப்பெருமானுடைய ஒப்பற்ற கருணையினாலே தெய்வச்சேக்கிழார் அருளி செய்த பெரிய புராணத்தை ஆங்கிலத்திலே தொடர்ந்து சிந்திக்கின்ற பெரும் பெற்றிலே நாம் இன்றைய தினம் ஏனாதிநாத நாயனாரை பற்றி சிந்திப்பதற்கு திருவருள் கூட்டி இருக்கிறது. டுடே we have taken up the history of Yenathi Nayanar, Yenathi. Yenathi was hailing from Yenanar, a flourishing town in Chola kingdom. The story is about the sacrifice of an adiyar for the principles he was following. See, the Saivam is symbolized by Vibhuti, the holy ash, and Rudraksham, the beads. They are considered to be gifted by Lord Shiva to his devotees. He had contributed, he had gifted, as a matter of fact, he had indicated who are all following the principles of Saivam should definitely wear these symbols. Their foreheads should be adorned by Vibhuti. Some people will be smearing the Vibhuti all over their body also. So it was considered to be the greatest symbol of, or it's an indication of the dedication to Lord Shiva by the soul. A soul is declaring by adorning its forehead by the holy Vibhuti that he had surrendered his soul, his life to the lotus feet of Lord Shiva. He would be abiding by the principles of Saivam. So it just indicates. So the devotees would be very fond of these symbols, these Vibhuti and Rudraksha. Some of them will sacrifice their lives to these symbols. Whenever they see an adiyar with the holy ash applied on their forehead or wearing Rudraksha, they would be treating them as the portraits of Lord Shiva, or they will think that they will consider that these Adiyars are Shiva himself, Shiva himself. So they would be rendering all service to the Adiyars, and they would be doing whatever the Adiyars are willing, they would be doing. Who will they consider to be Adiyars? They will not worry whether they are following Saivat rules or Saivat books. They will not be worried. Anybody who is wearing vibhuti on his forehead or wearing Rudraksha would be Lord Shiva for them. That's all. For these Adiyars, for these people, they will never go against their wishes. So that was the way in which the Adiyars were leading their lives, because they would be considering the ash, the holy ash and Rudraksha, or the other way of seeing Lord Shiva himself. Lord Shiva has gifted these symbols. Whoever following my principles or Saivat, the way of life, they should be wearing these symbols, and they should exhibit their surrender to the Lord Shiva by this way. Here we are talking about Yenathi. Yenathi is one of the devotees we were talking about. As a matter of fact, Yenathi was a gentleman hailing from Ayya family. See, here the family people are very honest, sincere, and they were experts in martial arts. As a matter of fact, Yenathi himself is well versed in fighting with various weapons and using different arms. He is an expert in performing fights. So because of this ability, and also coupled with honesty and sincerity, the king has hired him to teach the martial arts to their family members. So he was teaching the martial arts, how to use weapons in a fight, how to win over the opponent. All these tactics he was teaching to the royal family. Along with that, he was also running a school of his own students, and the exercise and the teaching were very nicely going on. Very nicely going on. Charge ஆகலன்னு நினைக்கிறேன். இது கேமரா சார்ஜ் ஆகல. We can go ahead. So, Yenathi would be rendering service to those Adiyars who were wearing the holy ash on their forehead and also smeared the whole body with the holy ash. He was a strong devotee of Lord Shiva, and not only to Lord Shiva, he was also a devotee of devotees. Whenever he see an Adiyar, he would be volunteering himself to go over to him to ask him what you want, and he would be catering to the needs of the Adiyar voluntarily. So that was his attitude. So whenever he sees the holy ash on the forehead of a man, definitely he would be moved and he would be approaching him and doing all sorts of service to him just by seeing the holy ash on his forehead. He would never inquire about the background of the man, whether he is a good person or a right person or anybody else. He would be never caring about all those things. His only intention was that he was wearing holy ash, so he was a devotee of Lord Shiva. He was an Adiyar, so I should render all services to him. That was the only attitude. He would never go into the details of the Adiyar. That was the nature of Yenathi Nayanar. The town Yenanar, now today's it is called as Yenanar. It was a flourishing town in Chola kingdom. Cheklar describes the wealth and the prosperity of the town as a matter of fact. He says the humming sound of the bees feasting the flowers filled the air most of the time. The whole town was surrounded by fields of sweet sugar cane, and also everywhere you can see green and wet paddy fields. So it all was accountable for the prosperity of the town. Everything was going on nice. But in the same town there was another person called Adisuran. He was also well versed with martial arts. He was also teaching the students the martial arts, and he was also having students, and he was running a school in the same town. However, Adisuran was lacking good manners and good qualities. He was very much envious about our Yenathi, because Yenathi gained the position of teaching martial arts to the royal family, whereas Adisuran was thinking that the Adisuran was unconquerable and unequal to anybody else in his using of the sword or the bow and arrow, all these weapons. He thought himself to be the master of everything, and he was thinking that nobody can be compared to him. That being the case, he was wondering why Yenathi was engaged by the royal family instead of him. Naturally, he was jealous, envious, and always he would be thinking of the way to tarnish the image of Yenathi. He would be always talking ill of him. He would be always snatching the students who would be naturally going for Yenathi. All these nasty things he was doing. But as days were gone, what to say, because of the bad qualities, one man will come down naturally. See, if a man is going up, he may be having a lot of skills. Somebody may have a lot of skills, but only if the particular person is having good qualities, it will be equal to Ponmalar Naatram Udaithu. So, because of the qualities, good qualities, if the skills are also there, then he would be flourishing, and that was the case of Yenathi. Even though Adisuran was having equal skills, that we should agree, but because of his bad qualities and jealous, he was declining in his skills every day. So, because of his decline in his skill, the number of students in his school were going down, and he was losing wealth also. So, counting his fall and comparing his, at the same time, Yenathinath's wealth was growing and his status was also very much improving. All the students were preferring to take the exercise, the training only in Yenathinath's school. They were all going, and also they were praising Yenathinath for his qualities and also his skills. So, Adisuran was very not happy about this thing. He was thinking that it should be ended. Some or other, he has to prove his mettle. The only way is to call him for a fight, and to fight in an open arena and to win him over, so that all students, all people, even including royal family, will understand who Adisuran is, what his skills are. So, he thought the royal family and others should be able to understand only if he makes a win over Yenathi. So, he decided to call him for a fight. One fine morning, he approached along with his students. When the Yenathi was teaching to his students the sword fighting, he was shouting in the open arena to come and fight with him and to prove his mettle. How can he say that, Yenathi? How can he say that to be superior in skills and other aspects than Adisuran? He was asking, how you have been climbing? But he was not climbing, as a matter of fact. This fellow Adisuran charged his opponent like this. You are boasting yourself that you are the best teacher. Let me see. You come and fight with me. You conquer me in the fight. It cannot be done. I will conquer you. If you are having guts, come to the open arena and fight with me, he was calling. Devachakra says that it is, the calling was like a jackal calling a tiger for fight. Yenathi understood the situation, because for the past times what was going on, he was aware of the happenings. So one day or other this will happen. Yenathi was expecting. So he came out ready for fight, wearing the mask and the uniform for fighting. He took his sword and shield, came to the field and started fighting with Adisuran. Adisuran was accompanied by his students. On hearing this fight, the details about the fight, all Yenathinath's students were also rushing towards the battlefield, and they were also participating in the battle. There was a terrific fight going on. As a matter of fact, a battle ensued there. Several heads were severed. Many hands were fell down. And of course, many soldiers, many people died on both sides. Slowly, Adisuran was losing. He was backing and he confronted Yenathi directly. Yenathi also directly fought with him. And he fought very severely. Adisuran found that Yenathi was superior to him in his skill. He was not able to stand before him. He was not able to withstand his attack. So finally, he started running back. Along with the other people who were alive, he went back to his school. As a matter of fact, he ran away with his students. Yenathi came back to the pavilion, and the students were enjoying the victory, and Yenathi thought that this fellow would never come back. That was his idea, because he was taught a lesson. He was taught a lesson and he would be never coming back. That was the idea of Yenathi and other fellows. But because of the defeat, he was like a wounded tiger. He was like a wounded tiger. He was thinking how to win over Yenathi. Of course, he was sure திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, எந்நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். Sorry for the interruption. So, Adisuran was defeated, and because of the defeat, one must be proud of being defeated by a good person. See, if we are defeated by a good person, we should be convinced that we have been defeated by a right person, good person. It is good for us. Conquering good persons will not be considered as a real victory. Always the good persons, always the right persons should win. Then only the win of the justice. So, Yenathi won the battle means he must have, the Adisuran should have realized what went wrong, why we were defeated. We were thinking that I was superior to Yenathi. That was wrong. He really had skills and he really had good qualities, and that's why he was engaged by the royal family. All those things he must have understood, but he didn't think that way. See, he was thinking again how to win over Yenathi. See, somehow or other he coveted the privilege of the teaching of the royal family, teaching to the royal family. So, somehow or other he wanted to snatch it away from the Yenathi, so that he would be getting fatty income, and also he would be getting the name among the students, because the teacher also teaching the royal family. So, naturally the students will have attraction to get admitted to that institution. So, Adisuran was planning how to win over. He definitely understood that there was not a win possible if we fight directly with Yenathi. Yenathi is not conquerable in the open arena directly. Not only he was having the skills, not only Yenathi was having skills, he was also having the good books of all the people. He was also having the good book of all the people. He was praised by one and all. So, that was also a point for getting envious and jealous over him. So, somehow or other Adisuran didn't convince himself that the fight went on to teach a lesson for Adisuran. He didn't understand, but he was planning how to win over the Yenathi. So, he found out that a direct fight cannot give him a win, but how to achieve it, he was thinking. So, he finally found out that he would be able to defeat his rival only by deception. He was thinking about the weaknesses of the opponent. As a matter of fact, to win over the opponent, The other way of winning over him is to count on the weaknesses of the opponent. So he was thinking what were the weaknesses his opponent was possessing. He suddenly found out that Yenathi was very much fond of the holy ash. Yenathi would be rendering service, would be bowing before, would be very, very pious to the persons who were wearing the holy ash on their forehead and smeared that body with that ash. Nothing else is required. Let them be anybody else. So Yenathi definitely will fall for the prey. So he decided to apply the holy ash on his forehead and to go before Yenathi. Yenathi will never make a point to fight with him, and at that time he would be able to kill him. So that was the plan he was having. As a matter of fact, you think Yenathi was having that weakness? Can we think about it as a weakness? No, it was a strength Yenathi was having. Yenathi never was never defeated. As a matter of fact, he paid obeisance and respect to the Adiyars because of their holy symbols. It was his strength, not weakness. Only because of the strength God appeared before him. Is it not? So the qualities, good qualities, will be taken as weaknesses by the bad persons. The people, possessing bad qualities, would be thinking that the good qualities are weaknesses of the good people. That was not so. So he decided to call him again for fight and to go before him with the ash applied on his forehead, and let me see whether Yenathi would accept him as an Adiyar or fight with him. Let me find out. Even if he fights with me, and if I am defeated, people will talk ill about him. Oh, Yenathi had fought with a person who was wearing holy ash on his forehead. He was paying due respect to the Adiyar, he was saying, but when an Adiyar was coming for a fight, he just drove him away. So his principles will be defeated. So in that way, the defaming of Yenathi would also happen. So that was the plan of Adisuran, and he sent word to Yenathi. He said, let us again fight. Why should we fight with our people? So your people and my people, if they fought, many of the lives are lost. Why should there be a bloodshed on the battlefield? Because of the enmity between you and me. The fight is only between you and me. So if you have the guts, you come and fight with me directly. I will also come for the fight. Let us meet in an arena, in the open field, and you must also should not, you must not inform anybody about our plan. I will also not inform, because if we inform, the people will gather over there and they will not allow us to fight individually. So I would not be telling my students, you should not tell your students. Nobody should know about our arrangement. So we should meet one dawn in an open field and fight, and let us decide who really deserves to hold the teaching profession of royal family. Either you should be alive or I should be alive. This cannot go on forever. I cannot live peacefully if you live. So I will show my skill if you come and fight with me individually without your people, and I will also come without my people. That was the arrangement, and he sent the word to Yenathi. Yenathi thought about a bit. Okay, this seems to be all right. What Adisuran was telling is a fact. Why should we have bloodshed in the battlefield unnecessarily because of the enmity between two persons? If they can fight directly with one another and decide the result, why should all others die because of them? Already there were loss of lives. So he accepted. Yenathi accepted. And he sent word that he was ready for the fight on any day mentioned. A day was fixed. Yenathi didn't inform any of his students or anybody else, relatives. This fellow also didn't inform anybody. He dressed in the fighting uniform, and he did one more thing. In his life he had never applied holy ash on his forehead, but this time, since he wanted to cheat Yenathi, because Yenathi will not fight with an adiyar donning the forehead with the holy ash, so he will never fight. At that time we will snatch the opportunity and we will kill him. That was the plan, the plot of Adisuran. So he somehow or other applied the, as a matter of fact, he didn't apply, smeared the forehead with the holy ash, took his sword and shield and appeared in the field. It was calling. Yenathi also dressed in the uniform. He didn't take any other thing except a sword and a shield, and he applied holy ash on his forehead. Just see, two people, same uniform, same weapons, and with same holy ash applied on their forehead. One applied with due regard for Lord Shiva, another one applied with a deception. Anyway, both of them came to the field. Nobody knew about the fight arranged. Adisuran was present and he was roaring, but he adopted a technique of not showing his face. He was holding the sword, shielding his face. He was proceeding to the battlefield. Yenathi was also proceeding towards him with a sword in his hand, shield on the other hand, and he was also proceeding. When they reached the spot, Yenathi told, okay, show me your skill. You are calling me for fight. I am ready. Show me your skill. At least this time you must be taught the proper lesson. I have come here, as you are informed, to teach you the best lesson. I have taught lot of lessons to my students, but today I will teach you a lesson that you won't be coming back. That would be my teaching today. Come on, start your fight. Yenathi was shouting. This fellow suddenly removed the shield covering his face. He was covering his face with the shield. Now just he removed the shield and raised the sword. Yenathi was taken aback. On seeing the holy ash, there was one symbol he was loving. The one symbol he would be sacrificing his life. The one symbol he would never let down. He was seeing on the face of Adisuran. On the spot, he didn't see a Adisuran there. He was seeing only an Adiyar, Sivan Adiyar. Yenathi thought, oh, Adisuran has become an Adiyar, Sivan Adiyar. That is why he had applied holy ash on his forehead. Let me not worry about his qualities. Let me not worry about the intention of his fight. He had come to this fight, this battlefield. He was aiming at winning over me, and he decided that applying holy ash on the forehead, he would be achieving the victory. Then should be the right case. If Adisuran wins, then it will be the win of the holy ash. That was the thinking of Yenathi. Yenathi was thinking, this fellow applied holy ash on his forehead, expecting that the holy ash will fetch him the victory, because I will surrender to the holy ash. It's true. I consider the Adiyar who is wearing holy ash as Lord Shiva himself. That was my principle of life, and I was following it throughout my life, and I cannot go against it this time. I don't care who is standing before me. I don't care about the qualities of the man who is standing before me. I am only seeing an Adiyar before me, not Adisuran. An Adiyar is standing before me, and the Adiyar is expecting me to win over. Then in that case, I will allow him to win over me. I will allow him whatever he wants, let him gain, let him finish. So in that aspect, in that intention, Yenathi decided to subject to the idea of Adisuran, decided to give himself away, give him away for the idea of Adisuran. Let him do whatever he likes. He had come to that point. Suddenly, he was thinking that let us throw away the sword and shield, so that let him do whatever he wants with me. Yenathi was thinking, let me throw away the sword and the shield. Let Adisuran, let the Adiyar, let him do whatever he wants with me. That was the idea. But suddenly he thought the other way. Even if he wins over me, even if he kills me or wins over me, people will talk ill about the Adiyar. See, if I am throwing away my shield and the sword, I will be unarmed. Even if the victory was bestowed upon Adisuran, people will say that he attacked a man unarmed. That victory won't be considered as a victory at all. Let the Adiyar get a pure victory. So let me not throw away my sword and shield. Let me stand there as if I am fighting, but I will subject myself to the wish of Adisuran. Let him do whatever he wants. All these thoughts were running across him, and finally he raised the sword in his hand, and he was holding the shield in his other hand and was standing there. Suddenly the Adisuran understood everything, and he understood, and he was delighted to find out that Yenathi was not ready to fight with him. Yenathi was surrendering in other way. Yenathi was willing to be done anything wished by Adisuran. Adisuran found out. Immediately he took his sword and he did the thing he wanted. That's all. He thought it was a victory, but it was not at all a victory. It was a defeat. But who won actually? Yenathi won. Those people who won their principles are the people really won their lives. Winning of principles is the real victory. So that was the real victory of Yenathi. The whole scene was being watched by the Lord Shiva. He didn't come and intervene the situation because Yenathi didn't want it. He didn't want it. In his idea of surrendering himself to the catering himself to the needs of the Adiyar, he doesn't want even the God to intervene. Let the Adiyar do it, whatever he wants. That was the idea of Yenathi. So to fulfill his desire, even Lord Shiva didn't intervene. After the thing was over, he appeared at the scene from his abode, and he was saying that you are the fit person to be my side. So I will cut off all your bondages in this world. You can come along with me. Let's go. That's what he uttered. And Yenathi reached Shivalokam after that incident. That was the story of Yenathi. So Yenathi was paying respect and obeisance to the Adiyars if they were Yavarenum Tamaga Iladathita Tirunirum Sadhanamum Kandal. That's how Appar Swami also says. So let us not inquire into the inner details of the people, but we must pay respect to the symbols they are wearing, either the holy ash or the Rudraksha. We must give due respect, and we must also consider to be the personification of Lord Shiva's mercy. So that's how the story ran, and we were discussing about Yenathi. With this we are concluding this episode, and I sincerely thank the Qatar people, Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan, who are arranging, and who are going to arrange these episodes in future also. They incline to be retold the Periya Puranam in English, so that people not well versed with English, with Tamil, they would be able to appreciate the the history of Nayanmars. As a matter of fact, I am picking up words, simple words, so that it will be able to reach the people easily. So I am selecting, picking up words, I am making it simpler so that these complicated stories are being told in an understandable way. I do not know how far I am successful. Lord only knows. By God's grace, this is going on fine, and we must thank Mrs. and Mr. Saravanan of Qatar, and they are the patrons and they sponsor these programs. Let me wish them all wealth and health in their lives. And with that, people who are hearing the Periya Puranam story, the story about the Adiyas, either in Tamil or in English, it's immaterial, they will be reaping the benefit because of their hearing of their story. So you just inform other people also who are not well versed with Tamil. They can also, it is available in YouTube, so they can also see this program and get benefited. See, we are doing this under Yenathiral banner. Yenathiral is a monthly issue, Tamil monthly issue. I request you to subscribe for Yenathiral monthly issue. We have our own site. We request you to visit our site, Facebook, so that you can be updated all the details of Yenathiral. And Yenathiral is very popular among the leading Saivites in the Saivite world. And we have also released books on Saivam in Tamil. And there are Tamil USBs of mine. You can also get them if you want. We have given numbers. And with this, I am just concluding. Let me conclude this session with uttering of Namah Shivaya Mandiram 5 times. Let me recite. I request you to follow me on the 5-letter mantra. Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namah Shivaya. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம். தென்னாடுடைய சிவனே போற்றி, என் நாட்டவர்க்கும் இறைவா போற்றி, வெற்றிவேல் முருகனுக்கு அரோகரா. திருச்சிற்றம்பலம்.